in Seoul for Korea Blockchain Week, and today I'm with Stan from Initia.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Thanks.
So let's start from the beginning. Tell us what Initia is.
Sure. So I guess the simple explanation is that Initia is basically a network for interwoven rollups. And what we mean by this is basically we allow applications to spin up their own app chains or app rollups and really easily connect to a whole ecosystem of other different applications. And so we make this really easy to do so by basically unifying or simplifying the tech stack itself, the product stack, and providing a really smooth UI UX. And then as well as like building a very interesting economic incentive structure that really encourages teams to work together.
How did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, so me and my co-founder Zan, we spent a lot of time like both in the Ethereum space. We're very heavy Ethereum users.
What were you doing before?
So we were working on actually a separate app chain project. It's like a little bit of a options protocol that we were originally making. And then we're also pretty active in like the Ethereum Cosmos and other spaces. We had a lot of fun, like basically farming your yams, doing a lot of the yield farming stuff, trying all the like DGen, DeFi strategies and things like that. But we kind of realized in this whole process that was like really annoying and very difficult to move your funds to different chains and different applications. And like that user experience was very difficult because there's like a million different wallets, a million different bridges, a million different chains and things that you need to be familiar with if you want to use like the application proficiently.
Yeah.
And so we kind of realized like, we don't really want that experience. We don't think that's like the end goal of like, you know, maybe a Web3 or blockchain experience. And so we decided to build out this whole tech stack ourselves and kind of like simplify that experience.
When you were working on the other projects, essentially like what you're saying is that this came out of a personal need, right? How do you see this like playing out like long term? Like what's the goal?
Yeah, so I think we're obviously a project that is maybe categorized under like modular infrastructure. And so what that kind of means is basically there's like a plug and play architecture, right? You know, we obviously have our tech stack right now. And currently we're using optimistic rollups, for example, for our L2s, or application rollups. In the future, you know, if ZKs come to like a much more production ready state and there's like a lot more adoption to it, we can always switch out that kind of like infrastructure ourselves. So what we kind of really focus on is building an architecture that is like future proof in the sense that like if we need to add a new VM or change a VM, we're always able to do so. We have to choose the proof, change the proof structure. We can always do something like that. If there's improvements to the existing underlying consensus itself, we're able to do that as well. So we kind of just take the best from every single area and simplify that whole process for application builders.
What is something that the users can do right now?
So currently, we've been live on testnet for the last, I guess, like 8 weeks or so. We had a short testnet program, but that's over already. So, but you still always try out the applications. They're still live. Yeah, there's a bunch of really interesting applications. What we like to really focus on when we work with our team that are using the interwoven stack specifically is to find really interesting novel products that you can't find on other places that are already launched. And so there's quite a few projects. One of them is Blackwing. I think they're here in Korea as well.
Okay.
They allow teams or anybody to basically trade whichever token or like whichever coin, whether it's a meme coin or like a major asset, etc. As long as there's a liquidity pool somewhere on a chain that they're connected to. And so basically the interwoven stack allows them to really seamlessly route all the liquidity all onto their liquidity hub and allow users to trade. We also have a few other projects. I know, like, for example, Polymarkets is really popular right now with like the election and voting. I think one of the big downsides of Polymarkets is it requires a lot of liquidity, underlying liquidity to facilitate all the trades, right? And so we actually have a team called Contro that is basically revamping the underlying trading mechanism to allow users to really trade much more seamlessly, to basically not get sniped in some sense when there's new information, slow down the markets a little bit so that retail has better access to, you know, trading on different types of outcomes for events as well.
If they want to learn more, where can they find you?
Yeah, so we're live on Twitter. So we have our Initia Foundation, Initia FDN Twitter account, and then we also have our homepage, which links out to everything. So it's initia.xyz, so INITIA.xyz.
Stan, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a house.
You know we do not understand.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We're back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.